got one question for you. Are you ready?
Hey, everybody, what is going on? Let me change up our line.
What up?
We have the amazing Makari on the scene tonight. What is going on, guys? We have Eric and Jay. What's going on?
What's up, guys?
How are you guys doing? Thank you for having us here.
Yeah, what fun. Yeah, you bet. We're so excited to have you guys on. You guys are out of what towns?
We're based out of Orlando, Florida.
Nice. A beautiful town where my daughter is now living right now. So she is enjoying the lovely weather of Orlando. I saw that it was raining all day today. So
it has been.
Yes.
It is not the sunshine state at the moment.
It's a beautiful sunshine state, raining all day.
And we had nothing but clear skies here in the lovely state of Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. Loving it. So, guys, wow, what an amazing me and James are always profoundly humbled by meeting great artists, and you guys are no exception to this. We listened to your music all week, got a little bit about what you guys are about. I really enjoyed your music. I wasn't sure what to expect because I was thinking Metal Chef would be some more metal, but then I was like, and then I was like, what? I was for a second, like I heard the first song that came out of Apple TV, and I'm just like, whoa, this is not what I expected, but pleasantly surprised. Wow, just impressed.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah, good stuff. And so we'll get more into that, but as always, we have the dessert challenge going on, guys. We have the dessert challenge. So we always let the guests go first. I'm always in between saying I didn't really bring anything good because I'm not worthy. And then we'll leave it up with the chef who, if you can beat the chef. But I'm just going to let everybody know that there is a connection, that they work in the same kitchen, that they may one up each other. I don't know. I don't know.
Be careful.
Jay saw what I made today, so Jay stopped in today. He saw what I made, so.
So what do you got, Jay? What's going on with the you work in the same kitchen? What are you bringing?
So I'm not a baker. I'm just a cook. So I went and I got this. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this before. This is like pretty wild. Crumb cake.
You cheap bastard. You didn't even make me.
I told James earlier today I was just going to get one of those tubes of cookie dough and just bite off the tube of cookie dough all night.
You're just going to like hold it and just...
I mean, it's a good dessert.
There you go.
Sorry, I'm not here to one up James.
Okay, but you're still good. You probably are beating me. Eric, I know that you had... What do you got going on, buddy?
So, today I stopped in for lunch at this place called Mama's Soul Food, and I got some catfish while I was there, and they had this key lime. I can't get a good shot of it. It's green. It's like key lime cake.
Oh,
yeah. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty. So it looks to be homemade. So
let's give it a try. Let's see what it tastes like. Can you taste it real quick? Let's see what we got.
I absolutely can.
First time tasting this cake on a show on the internet.
You have to eat it all.
Just like 2 weeks ago, because you guys are young and have the metabolism of young kids.
It's very good. It's got like a cream cheese layered frosting, so it's got a good texture.
Nice
going on here. Nice. And it tastes like key lime pie, except it's cake. So
nice.
Yeah, but I love key lime pie. There's a place down here that does like the best, smoothest key lime pie. I don't know how, because I've had grainy key lime pie and I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I still like the taste of key lime, but this place does it so smooth that it's almost like a cheesecake. It's so good. So,
I was actually bummed that it was key lime cake. I thought it was key lime pie, but
oh, yeah,
it's still good. But I love key lime pie.
one of the best. One of the best. So I am going to go. I'm in the middle. I am just going to say that I'm just going to be going out to local venues, just like what he did, and finding good treats. And today I went to a very local burger place, Whataburger,
Hell yes.
and got the Dr. Pepper seasonal shake.
That
There
actually
you go.
sounds really good.
It is really super good. And if you don't know what a burger is, you guys are in the wrong states. It is a beautiful thing. You guys are going to be touring out here, so I suggest you do that and
Dude,
EG's. EG's is another. Yeah,
EG's
what a
okay.
burger.
Whataburger
EG.
is like our go-to place because it is consistently open 24 hours, which is great for us when it's like 3 a.m. and the 5 of us are in the van. We're like driving through the drive-through with our van and trailer, and they're all the employees are probably like, "What the fuck?" Like, because we put in a gigantic order at 3 a.m. But which is really nice though that they're open because most places are closed by that time.
You are correct. They are good, and they're always consistently good. So their burgers are pretty good for what they are. I mean, of the fast foods, I think it goes like In-N-Out and them are in the same lineup for me of places to go. So, and okay, we know who's next. The man, the myth, the legend, the man who cooks things from scratch. That's the reason why I just said.
I will say though that on other shows that Andy has brought only a banana before, so really good with with what you got. Like, he's only brought a banana or popcorn, but it's all good.
I can't compete.
Jay knows
what does he got?
Jay knows what I made. I made these are snickerdoodle cheesecake bars, I guess you could say.
That sounds delicious.
Sounds ridiculously good.
It's peanut butter cheesecake with a sandwich between a snickerdoodle.
All right. Well, you guys made me take a bite of mine, so you got to try it.
Let's see what this is. Let's see what this is, my friend. Let's. If he spits it out, then that's the sign. If he spits it out, it's like, yeah, he made that. Yeah, he made that.
I'm not going to show the whole thing though.
Let's see it. Oh. Okay.
Let's get it out. It's good.
It's good. It's good. Okay, what's the recipe on that one, sir? So that and again, hit up the chef if you would like the recipe for anything that he has shown off in his little sketch areas.
The cheesecake is just really just cream cheese, peanut butter, vanilla, eggs, and that's I think about it on that. Kind of mix it up, and then the snickerdoodle stuff is just basic stuff. It's just eggs, flour, vanilla, cinnamon, sugar, and cream of tartar. That's kind of gives it like that little texture, leavening kind of. That's good. That's about it.
That sounds good.
Too good.
What's up,
Too good. What's going on, buddy? What's going on? So yeah, no doubt. Wow, amazing. Now that I don't know, key lime pie cake, but I think that the chef has taken it again. How can you beat that? How can you beat that?
I'll agree.
I mean, that's
how you're supposed to when you make something when you whip it up from scratch. How you supposed to do it?
That's what I'm saying. I just gave up on that. I was making we first started the show, and I'm all like, I'm gonna make a cake, and I'm gonna do this, and then I'm like, he's making these things from scratch. I'm making mine from boxes. So yeah, nah.
But I mean, I have the luxury of making it inside of a restaurant. So it's like anything you make. I mean, if there was anything else, I'd probably be making it out of a box as well.
We still bow down to you, my friend. Still bow down. Great job as always. Thank you guys for bringing desserts. But we have another quick question for you. Now we heard a little bit about Whataburger, but what is your go-to food? What is it like? You have to have this food on any gig, and then right before you're playing. So when you're going out on the road, what is your favorite food to go get? And then right before a show, what is your favorite food?
Well,
Um,
you want
I
to
mean,
take
I
it
would
first,
say
Jerry?
I was just gonna say like probably my favorite thing to get on tour is when we're in Brooklyn. Eric and I will always go to this. I can't remember what it's called, but there's a like a
Zion noodle.
yeah.
Xian. It's so good. It's so
Oh
good.
my God, I've never tasted like they make their noodles in house and everything. It's like all from scratch. And I think the one that I usually get is like a curried lamb or something like that noodles,
It's
and it's
the
just
the
nothing
cumin,
to
the
me.
cumin lamb.
Oh, the cumin lamb,
Nice.
that's what it
Dude,
is.
yeah. And they make the noodles are like it's this like Asian infused like noodle place, and they have this dish. It's like lamb and cumin based dish, and their noodles are almost like dumplings though, because they're like super thick. I guess I don't know how you describe it. I've never really seen it anywhere else,
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
but it's really
Yeah.
good. I always like to anytime we get to a city, like when we're pulling into like wherever the venue is, I just go on Yelp and I just type in food. I'm like, all right, what's the best reviewed like non-human place and within walking distance, and I'll go there. If I'm alone, if I can drag my bandmates with me, I will. But that's my ritual.
A foodie at heart, getting the local fare, which is even cooler. What's the worst? What's the worst in the adventure? What was the worst thing that you're like, oh, I will never go to that place again?
Oh.
Yeah, the worst food ever.
Oh, I don't think.
We haven't had
like
too many bad most of the, so okay, so this isn't exactly the answer, but the biggest thing is we'll go through the McDonald's drive-through at like 2 a.m, like because it's the only place we can find and wherever we're at, and without a doubt, no matter what, you could bet money on it every time someone in the band is not getting their order.
Oh, no.
And
Oh,
it's
yeah,
the worst
that's
feeling because it's super late and you're
That's
already
100%.
pissed off. You're already pissed that you have to eat McDonald's at
That's a
2
given
in the
right
morning again, you know, and you're like fucking eating like a burger, a cheeseburger, McNuggets, and then you're like, oh, your fries are here, but your meal is not. Sorry, and then it's like, all right, I'm just gonna suffer. I feel like it happens to Kevin the most, though. I feel like our drummer Kevin. I feel like he's the one who always like. I'm like, we're all like, oh, dude, your food's not here.
and it's like even worse because like he's a vegetarian, so it's not even like I could be like, oh, just split my burger with me or something. Like he gets to eat nothing now.
He doesn't even sing. It looks like his soul just like crumbles. He's just like,
Oh,
Crushed.
no food for
takes a
me
deep breath.
tonight. No food for me. They forgot me again. I'm just that's what happens to me in this band. The groupies don't come after me. They go after the lead singer and bassist and guitarist, and I get nobody. I get a cat. I get a cat. That's what happens. I just no love. But anyway, so so we'll segue to your guys' music. I was absolutely blown away by the melodies and the singer. And I attribute the great melodies that I was hearing to a really good guitarist who had excellent tone. I'm a heavy metal guy, hard rock guy, but I really enjoy the clean, almost starry tone. I was like, boy, I wonder what the heck I was trying to figure out what you were using for effect pedals on that, because I know that there's a lineup there of pedals to make it sound so like clean, but yet had that almost like a good, like a beach vibe to it almost. It was really, really good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And then very good vocals. Again, I listened for bass line as well as the percussion, the drums. But I really like, and again, I was because I've been really listening to bass because of my son. Great bass lines. I mean, just absolutely melodic, harmonic, and I think the guitar
Right.
was in that same level. Guitar was actually, I hear jazz, a little bit of jazz chords in there, a lot of triads, beautiful melodic stuff coming out of your guitar. So tell me
And
what
it's so
got you.
clear, like the clarity of it is just like every song. It's just like you hear it's like every note, everything that's played. It's just like you hear it's so harmonic. It's really just awesome. How you guys, however you guys like mix it and stuff like that is and play it is it's awesome.
Yeah, do you guys? Yeah, tell me about your engineer. Are you guys going to a studio? Are you guys doing home engineering? How are you guys doing your stuff?
So pretty much at home, I'll put together a skeleton of a song. I'll put the guitar parts together, and then I'll program some shitty drums and whatnot just to like give it a feel of what I'm hearing in my head. And then Jay and Kevin, our drummer, I feel like we've always been good at knowing the vision we're going for, and so they'll hear it. Jay and Kevin will lay down bass and drums and just amplify it. Like they'll bring their human like artist element to the idea and put their own spin on it, and it instantly makes it feel like Makari, like or the sound that we kind of have. Because normally, like my program jumps, no one would ever hear. So the public will probably never hear the pre-pro that goes down. But the drums are literally just there as like a placeholder, and then as soon as the real bass and the real drums are laid down, it really comes to life. And then me and the guitarist Matt kind of collaborate on leads, and we really have no lead guitarist in this band. Like it's whomever writes the best lead makes the cut really, and both of us kind of go back and forth on that.
Beautiful. What do you now? So let's go a little breakdown on your on your some of this effects and stuff. So you guys are I hear. I mean, it sounds. I was like a Fender, like a Strat, maybe. What do you guys play? Yeah.
That's
So I was
impressive.
like Strat with, and I was thinking clean, almost like a Fender amp in the back. But
Almost
what do you?
close.
Yeah. What do you guys have?
I have a hand wired AC30 with Alnico Blues in it.
Okay.
Then we've recorded just about all the Makari stuff, with the exception of some like new stuff that we're working on now. Like our whole our EP and our album were all done on the AC30.
Nice. Very nice.
What
does your pedal board look like?
I actually have it like right behind me. I can snag it real quick.
That pedal board is a beast.
Yeah, I could tell.
It's not like I don't have like a gigantic pedal board.
Holy moly.
But it's
everything is very distinct.
It doesn't look great here because it's all turned out.
Oh wow.
Line it up here. Where are we at? There we go. But yeah, so pretty much the big sky and the OCD are like where everything comes from.
Wow.
And the big sky has been like kind of a signature sound for the band, because when I first got it, I was just like, oh, you could put on this like insane reverb that you can still hear the tone through it. It doesn't like suck your tone away. It doesn't get lost. Where I feel like in the past, when you have a reverb and you turn it up really hard, like it does, like it loses like the clarity and like what you're actually playing. Whereas this, it almost sets like a background atmosphere while I'm playing whatever it is, even on rhythm guitar parts. I'll have it running, and it literally just it's almost like a filler of space. So with just the four of us, when our singer, like excluding our singer, like when we're writing the instrumental, the big sky really fills up this ambient space that's left, which has been really fun. It's fun to play with. It's really inspiring just to sit with it turned on and kind of go through different effects and settings. And I'll literally just sit here and I'll loop. I'll use the timeline has like a little looping station in it. It's nothing crazy, but I'll loop a rhythm part and just sit and jam for a few hours and come up with ideas, and then I'll move over to the computer just to like lay down the guitar track into Logic.
Yeah, well done. And I think you're right. That's exactly what I was hearing. Is there was a lot of great ambiance to it, which definitely was filling the room and filling the guitars were just amazing, and they just play really well together. I was trying to pick. I said there's 2 guitars here. Then I was like, okay, is he playing over? Is he playing a looper? And then he's playing over the top. But I was like distinctively 2 great guitars switching off back and forth at times. And then also one playing rhythm and then one playing a higher set of triads. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And you're also using more complex chords, which is, I like hearing that because I'm so used to rock, where it's some basic, like you listen to AC/DC, very basic chord. But where you guys are playing like some, major 7s in there, probably add 9s. I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah, dude. I just get
really
bored playing it.
Yeah, it's great. It's really great music. And I was like, so tell me about your, and we'll go to baseline really quick. Baseline, I was hearing lots of great, you guys are doing a lot of great fills in there that were outside of just keeping the rhythm. Your fills were really good and clean. And I don't think there was too many fills, which is, that's a huge thing because you can have too many where you're just going off. I think it's great, but it's not just following. It's complex enough. I feel like there's complexity there to your bass lines. So really great job.
Thank you. Yeah, we try to like find a good balance. Like sometimes that is hard to not sound like you're just playing like an additional riff, but like still getting those pieces to help like push us into the next section or kind of like push the bounds of the key that we're playing in and different things like that.
That's what I would say that I heard overall.
Everything flows really good.
Yeah, balanced. Flows really well. Yeah, balanced. Very balanced. Very good. Yep. So then we'll go to your next question, James. Go ahead.
No, let's go with the actual like the band name. How'd you guys come? I mean, from what I've seen, it means expresses a wishfulness of the whole meaning of Makari. But how'd you settle on Makari? Like, what's the story on how'd you settle with your name?
Well, so when we were like brainstorming ideas, I know we all said like we want a 1-word band name. We didn't want it to be the so and so or like whatever, that kind of thing. Or and it's funny, we've had so many fans reach out and tell us like Makari means I wish, wishful, I love you, things like that in Greek. And we actually come across the word and it meant like a poet, like in like ancient, like a Galaic thing, like a writer. And our drummer Kevin actually is really, really involved in writing the lyrics for the band. And at heart, he's a poet. That's what he went to college for, was writing and poetry. And so we felt like it was fitting because we have like a lot of like deep metaphorical lyrics, and we try to keep them palatable enough where everybody can understand, but there's still some cool depth to the lyrics, and we thought it was fitting for the vibe we were going for.
Yeah, that's something that I really got. There's a lot of great melodies, but then there's also the lyric content is poetic, very, very flowing words that, it's not chopped up. It's really nice and it flows. I mean, that's what I will say about the whole band is it's well balanced and it flows. The lyrics flow into the music, and he has a great voice. I mean, honestly, he has a great voice.
Andy's a powerhouse of a vocalist for sure.
Yeah, he's like, I'm always I'm always thinking we're gonna talk to somebody that sounds like they've like the bad American Idol video, and we haven't found anybody. And every week there's like you have amazing qualities, and every guest we have so far has just blows my mind at how much talent there is out there. And you guys are no exception. Amazingly balanced, melodic, as well as artistic. I mean, that's what comes to mind when I think about your music. It's well done. Well done. Now, what is your guys' background? Music. Oh, go ahead, James. Go ahead.
I was like, how long have you guys been playing together? Like, how'd you guys like meet up? How'd you guys become form, I guess you could say?
Yeah, I was a freshman in high school, and I had just moved from Dallas-Fort Worth area to Sarasota, Bradenton area in Florida. And I started high school. I signed up for jazz band and didn't really know what I was doing. I've been playing guitar, but I didn't know anything about jazz. But I signed up for it because you could play guitar in it. And I was like, oh, I want to play guitar at school. Why not? So I did it, and I actually met Matt and Kevin, which they are twin brothers, and Matt was playing bass in jazz band, and Kevin was playing drums in jazz band, and the two of them were like metalheads. Like they had a band they played in at the time called Stand for Nothing, and it was just like a blast beat double bass, just like like that's like what they.
Think Through the Eyes of the Dead, like
Yes,
that kind of
yeah.
shit.
And they were good. I would go to their shows and stuff, and like we were all super close. And me and Matt would make little musical projects, and then me and Kevin would make little musical projects all over the place, like from heavy to acoustic to pop, like whatever we really wanted to jam. And um, we had an opportunity to do a tour um, with this band with some former members and stuff under a different name. And we're just like, a tour, oh my god, let's do it, like let's just go. We didn't know what we were doing, and that's where me and Jay connected.
Because we were just supposed to, we were just going to fill in, Eric and I. We're just going to fill in for this tour and go do it. And then I don't remember exactly what happened, but there was a falling out with their current drummer. And Eric was like, I know a drummer. And then when he called Kevin, and Kevin was like, yeah, I'll do it. He was like, well, let's get Matt too. I mean, we may as well. There's not another guitar
Me and Matt
player,
played
so-
in a band at the time, like a
Oh, yeah.
Sarasota local band called Sleep to Dream. And we just played all over Sarasota all the time, and me and him both just loved playing, and we're like, and I was like, dude, we got this tour we can go on. And it literally was like, when I say tour, it was literally like on paper we were traveling to play venues, but it was like there was nobody there, no one knew who we were, like we sucked. We didn't
Multiple nights we got paid nothing. They're just like, oh,
yeah, we
sorry.
didn't make any money. Like,
Wow.
but that's how it go. But pretty much after we did this tour, on the way home from it, all of us were like, what if we like tried to do this for real? Like, what if we go to a studio, like record like our first legitimate, EP and put it out and see what happens. And so we decided just to completely rebrand, name the band Makari, and me, Matt, Kevin, Jay, and our former vocalist, we just went for it and just kept trucking along. And here we are. So
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That's cool from where you guys started to where you guys are now. So that's really awesome how you guys have built that name up. So you go from playing, zero crowds to now. What's like the biggest like the crowd you play for?
At our own show, like probably like 350 people or so, like for us, which was pretty surreal, honestly. Like, you can play, like we've had opportunities to play in front of a lot of people who don't know who we are and stuff, but
Right.
like when you're playing in front of a big group of people and they're all like singing the lyrics and stuff and like super engaged, and like it just creates like a really tight energy in the room that's kind of surreal. And it's been more recently where that's been happening, and it's a cool feeling just because we all love playing music, and we've been working hard at it for a long time, and to see some people finally connecting with their music is all we can ask for. So we're excited.
I've seen you guys when you did the Twitch stream with Andy, with all you guys on Andy's Twitch, and that was just seeing like the amount of people that were in there. Definitely was awesome. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, people
dude,
knowing what the tracks are, knowing the words or knowing whatever. It was awesome. That was an awesome stream.
Thank you, dude. Yeah. The Twitch stream.
But there was actually also there's a comment in the comments from a Mr. Wesley Kirby. It says, "Where is your favorite place to play?"
Where's your favorite place to play?
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite place to play is probably, honestly, probably Austin, Texas. It's just, I mean, every place is great, but like every time we've ever been to Austin, even when we were like really small, tons of people showed up, and I feel like that was one of the first places where like you could feel the energy in the room. Like people were like stoked as fuck that we were there.
Yeah, any Texas shows are always good. My probably most memorable show was the first time we played Chain Reaction in Anaheim, just because I was stoked to play there because as a kid, teenager, like following bands, I would see this venue, Chain Reaction, and in my head, I thought Chain Reaction was this crazy huge place, and all these huge bands play there, and that's where they kind of get their start. And it was funny to get there and see. It's like, don't be wrong, it's a cool venue, but it's just like any other venue. It's a little hole in the wall. But everyone comes out and supports there. It's our first time playing in California. I remember, like, this is pre-COVID, FYI, before I say this, but like people were like just passing us like joints on the stage, and I was like, "Oh, this is California, huh?" Like that.
That's awesome. What? So now let's go back. Let's go back a little bit. What got you into music, and then do you guys have any professional training, or do you guys what kind of got you your chops going?
You can go, Jay.
As far as like what got me into music, I grew up in New Jersey, and when you go into 5th grade, you basically can play in the band or you can play in the orchestra. So you just pick one, and then once you get into 6th grade, you don't have to continue it just for that 1 year. But I wanted to play the bass, ironically enough, but I was probably like 4'5", so I couldn't. So they're like, "Oh, you'll play the cello, and then next year you can start playing the bass." I ended up moving to Florida, and I played the cello for, well, now, I mean, I've been playing the cello since I was 10, 29, so long fucking time. I ended up going to school to play the cello, and along the way I got a guitar and a bass and all that stuff. I've just always really been drawn to music. So I got a decent amount of technical training. I learned some theory and stuff, but a lot of it's just kind of feel. I feel like if you're drawn to it, you'll spend the time, you'll invest in it, and you'll play.
All right.
Cool. Yeah, Jay's definitely more theory inclined than I am. I had, like, when I was a kid, all my dad's side of the family, they lived outside of Nashville, like an hour outside of Nashville, and had property out there and stuff. And it was kind of like, more rural Tennessee. And we'd go out there for like 4th of July and things like that. And the whole family would be playing bluegrass around like a fire, like a bonfire type of thing, with guitars, banjos, fiddles, as they would call it. It was very bluegrass. And I've personally never been extremely into it, but just seeing like my uncles and my dad play guitar and stuff, I was like, oh, I want a guitar. But I already knew, like, as soon as I got a guitar, I was like, I want to learn how to play rock. Like, I don't care about bluegrass. I want to learn how to play rock, and I want to learn how to play all the bands that I love, from classic rock to Linkin Park, all sorts of stuff.
Right.
And then I didn't really get into writing my own music until high school. Up until high school, I would just like learn how to play songs I wanted to play. I took a handful of lessons here and there, but it was never theory based. I know my way around the guitar, like as far as chords and such, but it's funny. Like I'll play all these crazy chords, and people are like, "Oh, what chord is that?" I'm like, no idea. No idea. It just came to me. Figured it out.
That's
I'll
cool.
know I'll know like the root of the chord, but I won't know all the add-ons and flat sharp. I know basic stuff, but that's really it.
Yeah,
I feel like it allows me
it
to be like,
really...
I just go on like this creative tangent when I write songs, and just totally off of emotion. I really like feel like writing music is an emotional release for me at times.
I feel like that's one of the main tenets of our music in general, that we're all very emotionally invested in the music that we're writing and what we're doing. I feel like it shows.
We can tell. You can totally tell. And it's just based off of, I mean, you guys all seem to play really well together. So that was the thing. How do you guys, when you guys are going through, you kind of went through some of your songwriting process, but I mean, wow, how do you guys just like get together and make such balanced music? I mean, really, honestly, it's really good. Is there like a formula that you guys are going, where you guys are going to we're going to go through this, we're going to do this as an intro, here's a hook, here's a, what are you guys doing when you guys are going through this in your head?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the actual like structure of the song, it's very pop like. We try to keep it straightforward, like intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, post-chorus, verse 2, chorus, bridge, chorus, outro. You know what I mean? And
Right.
I feel like that's what allows the band to sound cohesive, because all 5 of us literally are on our own little island doing our own thing. But we keep the structure in more of a simple format, and I feel like that really helps tie it together when everyone, like, if we have like 2 guitar leads happening, and Jay will be on bass playing. He won't even be like playing the rhythm guitar notes that are going on. It's more of like a harmonic choice to it. And it work. I don't know. It just works pretty well. I feel like the 5 of us are all on the same page. We can get together, and I'll start playing a chord progression, just looping
What
it.
kind of band
Just
styles that you kind of like pull into
start
you
kind of
guys?
vibing to it.
No,
Nice.
that's awesome.
Let's say, are there any kind of like band styles that you kind of mix into your music? Like, I mean, because each time you listen to a song, it just sounds like a mixture of kind of different bands that are out there a little bit, like the sound of it. But like, are there any kind of music styles that you enjoy pulling from that and kind of inspire a song or
I mean,
get
that's
into
kind of
that?
like that's an interesting thing because I feel like we all pull from different places. Like
Yeah,
none of us really listen to the same kind of music in our free time. So we're all kind of pulling all these different ideas together and these different
right.
like Kevin's really
That's what's
into
good
like
too. That's what's
yeah,
good.
and it helps like because even sometimes like something in like Kevin listens to a lot of indie music. So sometimes he'll be like, "Hey, Jay, I heard this song. You should check out this bass line. It sounds pretty cool. Like I think you could kind of like take some inspiration from this." So you end up getting pulled in kind of like different directions, but you're hearing different things that you wouldn't generally. So it ends up all coming together in like really interesting ways.
That's what's cool too. That when you have different music tastes, that you can kind of bring different inspirations into a song from four different inspirations, kind of thing, 4 different ideas.
Yeah, it's kind of cool in a sense. You never know when the song starts out. By the time it's done, like, you just never know what direction it could go as we're writing it, with everyone's unique kind of taste coming into play. People always
Nice.
ask us, like, "Oh, who's your band sound like?" And I really have a hard time ever pinpointing something like, "Well, it's kind of like this or this." If you even heard this band, like, I got really into the pedals and effects from Circus Survive. I was really inspired when I was younger with Jaturna and the Blue Sky Noise album. If you guys are familiar with it, they just have a lot of really awesome delays and reverbs, and octave pedals going on, where the guitars don't even have to be necessarily shredding anything crazy. They just create an atmosphere, and that's really where I got inspired in that sense of things, was Circus Survive. And most of the time when I tell people, like, "Oh, who you're," I tell them Circus Survive, and unless you're in this music scene, they're like, "Oh, I've never heard of them." So
My we call it shoegazing, right? Shoegazers.
yes.
So it's yeah, yeah, it's good stuff. I enjoy people that I got a line 6 for this reason. That's why I got the line 6, is to be able to model that type of stuff, to be able to create different tones. And I call it in search of tone. You're looking for new tones.
Quest.
Yeah, it's a quest.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that you guys have nailed your sound really well. And all of your sounds are, I mean, it's just really good music. It is. It's great. I was sitting there thinking that you could play this at a big show, or you could just sit on a Sunday and just listen to it too, because it's energetic, but then it also has some very good Sunday hanging out at the pool vibes. It's just really nice, really nice. I enjoyed it. I'll be definitely listening to more of your music over time, so I'm excited. So now you guys have this new. I listened to about 6 or 7 songs that are on Apple Music.
Okay.
And let me see, how many do we have? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 8. And are you guys planning on releasing any more new music coming out?
Yeah, yeah. We've got something we're working on that'll come out around the end of March. that's different. It's different for us. And with some visuals and stuff coming for it. And then we have some full band music we're sitting on that I think people are gonna be like, "What the fuck?" when they hear it because we're introducing some elements that we've never done, which I'm really excited
Nice.
about, and it more of an aggressive. We have one song that's pretty aggressive sounding with some more aggressive vocals, um, which I think people are really going to enjoy.
That's cool.
And
That's what's cool too. Like
our
you're digging into something that you haven't tried before, so you're bringing a whole different, a different ingredient, like I said, into the album itself. So kind of get that out to people, and I'm pretty sure they'd be blown away by what you have to put out and
Definitely.
see what kind of stuff you're putting out in your new stuff that you're putting out.
Yeah, and we're gonna put out a couple songs, and pretty much hold everybody over because right now we're writing our second full length album, and I know I've got a lot of songs that we've written, but there's like 7 or 8 good ones,
Keepers.
that I think can make it to the table. So I know once we get back from this tour, that's going to be our main focus is really finish writing this album, and I want to get together with all of the band, all 5. We've been remote now for so long where we just send files back and forth and stuff, and I really want to get together with all 5 of us for like a week and spend time honing in on writing these songs. And I think we've talked about getting a little Airbnb somewhere and just like tucking away and working on it. So I'm excited for it.
Right. Nice.
Cool. So one of our fans is saying, I would love to hear more instrumental or acoustic versions of your songs.
Oh, that's funny. Funny you say that. So the song we have coming out next, you might be stoked on the second part of your question or what your request. So we have an acoustic song we're working on.
Yeah.
That's an original, and
Nice.
we're all really hyped on it. And it's different. It's more. It's totally torn down, but it's still got kind of our signature sound and guitar playing and stuff like that, which will be more unique on the acoustic. So, and then we talked about releasing some, just re-releasing some of our songs instrumentally. The vocal, there's so many vocals and layers of vocals on the instruments that when you just hear the instruments by itself, there's so many little details I feel like that they go unnoticed, because it's the vocals are there obviously. So
All right.
I think that's amazing. And I can tell that musically you guys are sound, so you will develop over time, and I can tell that you guys are going to be going great places because you have the musicality, that music IQ that you can be able to with your, and it sounds like all of you guys know how to get with each other's music and be able to harmonically and melodically get together in whatever you guys are doing. And that's what we were explaining before. But you guys can help. That'll help push you to the next level of your music, and just next level meaning next place where you guys are going. Like you're saying, more, maybe a little bit more aggressive, maybe a little bit more this, maybe a little bit more that. Just like any band, you just develop. But when you're with the right group of guys, that's when that stuff changes and that stuff remains. We're passionate about the music that we're playing, and we're expanding ourselves. And I think that makes for a band that can be able to have longevity. And it sounds like that's what you guys have, which is awesome to hear.
Thank you. I definitely feel like the 5 of us, have something like special together that we wouldn't ever be able to achieve with any other musicians. And I think realistically, it just goes back to us. We've been playing together since we were in high school. So it just congeals well.
Yeah, there's a level of understanding
Oh yeah.
between us that just kind of like, oh, Eric's doing this, Matt's doing this, so this is where I fit, and I got to find something interesting and cool to put there. And then Kevin and I kind of over the years have just kind of learned like oh, I like the pattern that Jay's doing. I'm going to match that with my kick pattern in this section, and it's going to create this effect, or vice versa.
Love it. Love it. Absolutely
I
love it.
think that's
Yeah,
what
that's
creates a great band. You know what I'm saying? You have communication, you have your styles that you know what to add what to. You know what I'm saying? So having that like chemistry creates like a long line. You know what I'm saying? Rather than somebody that's like, I'm gonna do my thing, and I don't know what y'all are doing.
For sure. For sure.
love it. Love it. So we talked about that. So now your tour that's coming up, you guys are going to be doing what cities and what kind of got you going on? I mean, you guys are going back. Guys are going out west. So talk to me a
Yeah.
little bit about your tour.
Yeah, so it starts on February 19th in Houston, Texas, at Satellite Bar, and all of our fans have been asking us to come out west. We're from Florida, you know, so it's easier said than done. So we figured we would start in Texas, drive out there, and pretty much the tour just like brings us out west. It's Houston, San Antonio, El Paso. Then we play Mesa, and then we get into LA and kind of just go straight up the West Coast, and we'll be playing in Seattle. We've never played Seattle or Portland, so I know we're all looking forward to that. It's always fun going somewhere new. So
Yeah, I love that.
Nice.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool. That is really cool. Now, fan base, where is your fan base from? Are they just on the internet? Or how are you? Have you guys been able to keep track of it? Is it coming from like, we had one band that was like their fame was coming from TikTok videos. Where do you think that your fan base is coming out of? Is it Instagram, TikTok, what social media, or is it people that have seen you play? How are you guys able to keep your fandom going?
I would say
Word of
it's
mouth.
been
Kind of word
a
of mouth.
slow,
Yeah.
like a slow grow, because we suck at social media. Like the TikTok stuff is just like we're all right at an age where it's just like we're all like 30 years old, like 29, 30 years old. So we're like right in between this generational thing with the TikTok fad. And we've tried it, but we're bad at making content, as they call it. Like I feel like we excel at writing the songs, and we also like we I guess it's our own inner turmoil. We've always given each other such a hard time if I'm fucking up, or Jay's like fucking up, or any of us like aren't playing tight. We bust each other pretty hard for it. So our live set is what I think retains and gains our like followers and fans and stuff. We really pride ourselves on bringing an amazing, top-notch live sound, and I feel like anytime we play live, it's a different experience than listening to it on the album. It hits harder, you know. It just like hits you in the face way harder than listening to the album version, and brings a different experience. And like with Andy, and Andy always loves to bring in some different vocals live, in the sense of more like, what would you call it, Jay? More like growly yell stuff, like.
He'll do kind of like he'll start to bring some grit into notes that didn't have it on the record. He'll do embellishments. He'll go fucking several notes higher than it was
Yeah,
on the
literally,
record.
dude, he's the only singer.
really
I can't
just
believe he's
lay
in
it on
our
thick.
band. I can't believe he's in our band, because he's the only singer who will have some stupid high note that most vocalists would be like, all right, I got to make sure I hit this note. And Andy will hit like a note, like 3 notes above what he's doing, like just because. And it's just like, oh my God, dude.
And it cracks me up because
just because he can do
every
it.
day on tour, Andy and I do vocal warm-ups together, and every day he's like, man, I'm gonna sound like shit tonight. I'm not gonna be able to do it. I don't think I'm even gonna make it through the set. And then we get out there and he does shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you talking about, dude? You got it.
Maybe that's his motivation. Like, I gotta be good. And then he gets out there and then he puts it out, you know.
he just sets his bar really low, and he's like, I'm not gonna be able to do it. He just has to jump over that bar that he sets so low for himself.
Yeah.
Then he's like, oh, I mean, keep jumping over it. Fuck it. Keep going.
Or it's too high, or it's like it's too high. He wants this amazing sound, and then he's like, "I'm just gonna settle. I'll be okay. I gotta go for that good sound now." That's awesome. That's so good. So that sounds like what a fun tour. I out of Mesa, Arizona, am going to catch your show. So I'm going to
you gotta put him on the list.
Yeah, put me on the list.
Of course.
And then I'll make sure that we get you some social media advertising on our stuff. Not that we have the tons and tons of people, but we're so excited to be able to have. I've never seen. This is kind of cool though. I've never been to one of our bands that we've interviewed. Like, it's just cool that I get to go out and see one of the bands that I've actually interviewed. Before see as a fan. It'll be really fun. And I love good. I love. Yeah, I'm gonna have people throwing bras at him and roses. Here. There they are.
I know them. I talked to them before.
I know, and then I'll be like that guy that says, "Yeah, I know them. I know those guys.
I know those guys.
Exactly. Yeah.
I interviewed those guys. I knew that they were good. I knew they were good." So that's awesome. So we're about almost out of time. So here is what we do at the end of the show. We do our top 5 questions, and mine are always music theory related. And then, the drop the mic moment for James. He always has the drop the mic question. So, but here is my first question. So this is top 5. And the 5th question is, what gear do you guys play with? So we know that Strat, and then what bass do you play with?
I play a Fender as well. I play a 5-string P bass.
Oh, cool. Fender 5-string P bass.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
That alliteration.
Yeah, no doubt. You have a lot of things going on there, because that's usually heavy metal. Like, I got the 5th. It's even darker.
I can hit the low A.
I got that low.
He's always bragging.
Growling. Yeah. And so, what is your other? So you guys are you guys both playing Strats, Eric, or are you playing a Strat?
No, so I play Strats, and Matt plays the Telecaster. He's got like an American Deluxe hollow body Tele. It's gorgeous. And then
right?
What?
The thin line?
Yeah, it's the thin line Deluxe. And it's a hollow body, and it's white with cool binding. He looks really cool. Makes him look cool.
Right.
And then but it makes him look like he is.
Yeah. And then I have 2 Strats. I have a 2004 50th anniversary American Deluxe Strat, and that's been like all the guitars on the album. Like all my parts were all recorded on that with the AC30.
Nice.
And then I've gotten more recently. I got the American Ultra Strat, and I just got that because we play a few different songs in different tunings live, and so we all travel with 2 guitars. Just that way we can just switch when we need to change tuning rather than sit there for 5 minutes and fiddling with it.
Awesome. Very good. Very good. So we're going to go next. Favorite. So I'm going to go, it's kind of like a twofer. So it's going to be favorite chord pattern and then what key?
Ooh. So recently the chord pattern that I've been like really drawn to is a 2-5-4. Or I'm sorry, 2-5-4-1. And it's just because I've just started, like I grew up playing a lot of blues and I didn't play jazz at all. So the first time I discovered, like 2 months ago, a 2-5-4-1, it just kind of like blew my mind. I just thought it was so pleasing and so pleasant. And my favorite key right now is E. It's really
That's
happy.
I always find myself not intentionally, but in the
Just-
key of E a lot of
Yeah.
times. I've been trying to actually get away from it because a lot of my songs are that. Like our biggest song is BDAE, which is pretty standard. So
Mhm.
it's funny that like our most basic song that's the most popular one, of course.
2-5, but that's an interesting chord pattern because 2 is usually so like that diminished chord. It's the one you don't hang with, or
Yeah.
a little bit different,
But
Yeah,
it's
cool.
cool because you can sub out, the 5 or the 7 in place of that too.
That
So
diminished
you do that
7, yeah.
rotation a couple times and you can start kind of popping those interesting, because at first I thought the same thing. I was like, well, that's kind of putting you in a box in a way. But
Right.
then you have those substitution options with alternate
That's just
chords.
Yeah, we have that suspended 7 always bring, and then you can play that 1 going back to home again. So yeah, gotcha. Yeah, pretty cool.
Exactly.
Or me, I've been writing a lot of songs in B minor lately. I have like 3 songs that are all in B minor, which I need to like dwindle down because literally they're all in the same key.
Mhm.
That's that's been a fun one though. I feel like it has like this like this serious sound I can like create things within like different layers and stuff. That's fun. I've actually been dabbling more in like in electronic sounds lately, just to take the guitarists and stuff we have and modernize it in a sense,
That's cool. Well, and I would say jazz. You guys definitely have that jazz background, and I can tell that those jazz chords come right out because those are you guys aren't playing 1-5-4, which is definitely historic pop and rock. And so I enjoy the different. I could tell that there was some jazz, and you're playing some jazz chords. I know you're like, hey, I play this root, I play the root, and then I play some
Oh yeah,
other
they're
things
all
that
jazz
sound.
chords though. It's all
They're all jazz
5-string
chords.
barred jazz chords. So
Yep. I was like, they're all bar strings. I was like, at first I was like, let me listen to this. This is not basic. This is all bar chords.
dude, so today I was practicing our tour set because we're doing a headline set, so we're gonna play like 10 songs. And dude, after not playing guitar for that long, playing all of our songs with the bar chords, all 5 strings, like my hand right here is just like it's still right now. It's like it just feels like weak at the moment. Like it feels exhausted from running our set because it's just constantly like, oh, I get
Just like not
Especially
working
those.
out, then working out.
It's
yeah.
the pinky. I swear it's the pinky that just wants to deaden on you. You're like, You hear that last. It's your pinky just hitting that dead string, and you're like, oh,
Like,
bad,
you're like,
bad,
no.
bad form, bad form.
Yeah.
That's where it kills you, and that's what people don't understand. That if you don't learn good form, and you can have a little bit sloppy here and there, but if you don't start off with good form, you're going to pay for it later down the road. You just are, and it comes in the way of jazz.
Oh
Those
yeah.
jazz chords become so, because you're not just using these 3 fingers, you're using your pinky, and you're doing a lot of stretching. And when you don't, you have bad skill set there for, and you're not, just your technique is not tight. You're gonna lose out, and you're gonna have to relearn, which is what I spent I've been spending the last bit doing. I'm used to rock where it's all very, no bar chords, no nothing. It's simple. And then when I started getting into more blues, which I've recently, it's all, progressions with, major 7s and add 9s, and it's just, your technique has to be spot on to be able to get it clean. So yeah, fun stuff. Okay, so moving on. So that's probably about 5, 4, 3, and then 2. What is So you guys said something about your live. What is it that changes between your studio sound and your live? What are you guys using for? Maybe you guys are using different speaker sets. What are you guys blowing out there, or spinning up to make it sound really at a live show much better than you would during your studio?
Well, so what makes it kind of unique is when we go to the studio, we record with Andrew Wade. He's a great producer, a great songwriter. He's done like A Day to Remember albums and stuff, if you're familiar with them.
Nice.
But it's kind of cool though, because we are not that at all. So it's kind of a cool meshing, because he does something. His wheelhouse is totally different, but he'll help us like transition parts really well. But anyway, my point's getting all taken off here. But we actually use all of our own gear when we go record with him. We record with our own drum kit, our own guitar amps, our own guitars. We don't use any of his instruments. We use everything as we would live. So then when we go play live, it just, I don't know how to describe it really, Jay. Kind of just like hits on another level.
Yeah, I mean, we pay really close attention to, like, if it's on the record, we're gonna do it live. We
Yes.
don't cut any corners. We practice like a motherfucker to make sure that everything is played exactly the same way, and then
Right.
we just, you know,
We started
kinda
playing with
show
this last tour we did was the first tour that we ever did where all 5 of us have a full-on in-ear monitor mix, and that was game changing.
oh yeah.
Because I play a lot of tappy parts, and when we're playing live, if the room is really loud or the stage is really loud, I find myself hitting the tapping parts like really hard, and it starts becoming muddy and sloppy because all I'm doing is just trying to play harder just to hear myself. Whereas if I'm at home,
Right.
when I'm sitting in front of my studio monitors, I play so lightly and finesse it and like really bring out you can really hear your fingers and the tone. You know what I mean? For guitarists, that's where it comes from. And now with the in-ears, hearing my guitar straight in my ears, dude, is like, I can play the way I'm playing when I'm just like sitting in the comfort of my own home, and we all play way better for it.
Yeah.
And we have like a metronome. We have a click track running too on all 5 of our ears.
And
So like,
Cool.
it makes it really easy to be tight.
And this is what I want to buy next of
Nice.
is those watches that have the metronomes on them where you can feel it. That's what I was thinking about getting as my next present to myself, gear
Nice.
present, because I was like, I would love to be able to keep better rhythm. And that's interesting. What are you guys using for monitor for your headset? I just bought the Shure, those Shure headphones. What are you guys using?
I have the Shures. I have like the middle of the road one with a couple drivers in it. I think Andy just got custom molds, which is cool. I feel like I don't even need them though. Of course, if I have the opportunity to do it, I probably will. But my in-ears, they isolate so much outside noise, so it also just protects my hearing, which is good.
Yeah.
I don't get too much bleed out of it.
That's why I bought them. Yeah, because I don't have to. I wear these for this. I could wear my Shures. I got the Aonic ones, and they're very noise canceling up the yin yang. I didn't know how it would sound because they have the two sets on it, where you have those ones that are really noise canceling, and then a different set that are a little bit less marshmallowy, I guess is the word that I would use. But I've really enjoyed those Shures. They're really great monitoring headphones for in ear. So anybody out there who wants to go buy a very good set of monitoring headsets. I actually had 2 or 3 friends that suggested them, so I was really happy with them. Great. Okay, so that means that we're back to the last question of the night. James, what do you got, buddy?
I'm not sure if it's mic dropping, but watching a lot of your stuff, like the music as well. I went to YouTube on a lot of stuff and watching a lot of the music videos, and like the music videos are really awesome locations. Like how do you find and search for those locations? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I feel like anywhere you kind of do the video, it's awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like I watched every single one. Each one is just like awesome in its own way. You know what I'm saying? It's just, how do you pick out like your locations and stuff like that?
Mainly, we have our guy Joey Durango to thank for that. Joey Durango is a videographer, cinematographer based out of Sarasota, and we'll normally go to him with like a single or a song we want to do a video for. I'll send him the track and tell him like the vision. We all combine. All 5 of us send our vision to Joey, and he always comes back to me. He's like, "Oh, dude, I got this place, this place." He's always on the prowl for like locations and stuff. So he'll send us the pictures of the locations, and like our video Transient, we shot that in the Tampa Theater in downtown Tampa.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And then with Hyperreal,
Honestly,
We found this
Hyperreal was
old.
amazing.
Yeah, that was fun. There was
Yeah.
like this
That shit.
old abandoned like mansion style house. It was like a farmhouse, but it was huge though. So all those have always been fun seeing, like especially when we get to like show up there in person, and then automatically you're like, oh, dude, we could shoot here, and it's just the creative vision comes to life, which is cool. The creative vision comes to life.
Right on. Okay, well, that is our last
What,
question. Actually, we're gonna go the last. Go
something
last. The
happened.
last one. Ask your last one. I can hear James. I can hear his head.
One more tapping, one more question. Not mic drop, but musical collaborations that you like want to work with, like in the future.
Oh shit. I mean, we've been talking about for our next record trying to get like a guest vocalist of some sort. We talked about I'm drawing a blank on her name, but the girl who sings for Spirit Box would be
Courtney
awesome.
LaPlante would be really cool. Yeah, just something different, something like unexpected. I would always love to play guitar. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Matteo Sasato. He like destroys me as a guitarist, but I'm really inspired by his playing. I actually just bought this amp sitting behind me. I just bought this amp. Like it came in 2 weeks ago. It's a Sir Badger 30, and I saw some videos of Mateus playing it, and I'm excited to get to the studio, and this will be the first time I want to try something out other than the AC30.
Nice.
It's super dynamic, which is fun. Like you can play really soft and clean, and if you just hit it hard, it breaks up really nicely. So it brings I feel like it allows more emotion to escape through my playing. So I'm excited to see how it goes and try it out. But yeah, anyway, yeah, my collab is him. I saw his playing, and I was like, oh my god, he's amazing. You guys should check him out. If you haven't, he's literally a great guitarist, Mateus Asato.
I have heard of him.
Mateus Asato.
Yep, I have heard of him. Yep. Beautiful. Any more questions, James? I know that that was a really good question. That was an excellent question.
Wes had a question earlier before when he said, "What's your favorite place to play?" And he did say, "John, give the crowd an
Oh yeah."
I'm not sure if he's still in here. We'll have to show that to him later on.
I hope he's still in here. Oh, shit.
I'm not sure if he's in here.
That's awesome, guys. That's awesome. Well, thank you guys for coming on. Amazing band,
thank you so
folks.
much for having us.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? We are just so blessed and humbled to have such amazing musicians coming in and joining us. And you guys are definitely so talented. I mean, just blow away a lot of things that I've seen recently, talented. And you guys are doing it in a pop genre, which is, I wouldn't even say pop, but it's really good. People will listen to this. It's really good.
Yeah,
and I can see teenage girls just flocking to this kind of music. Just I can see them because of the whole which one do you like better? I can see them because it's so the sounds are really good, but then also the lyrics are just their love. There's some really deep lyrics of. I just really like them. I really like it. I think I can see this getting really, very popular, and it's really great music, and you can listen to it all the time. So check them out, everybody. Makari, amazing musicians. I cannot wait to hear what they're coming out with. And I am personally going to a show. So that if I go and get my little happy butt up to go to a show, they are talented. So.
Yes. If you hear, check our tour dates and see if we're coming through your town. We'll be announcing more tours in the future. This is just the first time we're getting onto the West Coast since pre-COVID. So
yeah,
come out, support.
Yeah,
come see us.
Yep. And those in Mesa, Arizona, come join. We're gonna try to get
We're playing at the Underground in Mesa.
Yep. I know exactly where that is. My stepson, who is your guys' age, used to work there.
Cool. Nice.
He was a bouncer for a while. So so anyway, very excited to see you guys. And any last words, James?
No, yeah, it's been awesome. It's literally been it's one of the best streams that we've had too. So really awesome.
Yeah, this is really good. Really good to be with some great musicians. We will catch you all next week with Chaos Guitars again, because Andy got a custom guitar built. So we got to go check it out. So we're looking forward to that. Yeah, he blew up so I gave this guy an Epiphone, and what he did with this Epiphone is epic.
Hell yeah.
I showed
Yeah.
I showed you some of the
Yeah.
stuff that Chaos has done.
Yeah, they're beautiful, and this guitar sounds amazing. So I can't wait to show everybody off this beautiful piece. And I'm not going to even talk anymore about it. Just you guys have to know that it's an Epiphone that turned into a monster. So we'll talk to you guys next week. It was again great to have you on, Makari. We'll talk to you soon, and stay tasty.
Stay tasty.
See you guys.
Stay tasty.
Eat your desserts. Go eat your